In this example of a case workflow, I'm going to walk you through our internal system for managing service tickets that our project managers, also known as PMs, submit onto the technical teams. In this example, I'm looking at a particular team and the various jobs or cases that we have on the go. You can see right now I'm filtering by solved, but you can always flip these to see them all and go into a different subset if you wish. If I go to our company, first thing I'm going to do is create a case. I want you to notice over here that I've got 2 entry points to the workflow. We call those primary rules. Sometimes the project manager is just logging a case. Other times they're ready to submit it on to a technical team. I'll say log case in this example, and then I'll have to profile this case in a way that makes sense for us. But of course, yours would be specific to you. I'm going to put in a new accelerator key. That's an easy case. Still needs to be done. Important, problem type, license key. I do have an opportunity to enter details here. And right below, I have a field for PM comments and developer comments, as well as a spot to enter a video. For more complicated cases, we often do, just like the video you're watching, except they don't make it to YouTube. And this one down here for the image. We're very big with videos and images. We use TechSmith Snagit to take pictures of issues and document problems. And here we can just paste it into the body of a case. It's very practical. This WYSIWYG field can apply anywhere in your system. This is just where it lives in our particular situation. And now I'm going to press save. When I press save, Sage CRM's workflow engine kicks in. Think about this as the cover page for the case. It tells you where it is in the cycle. Over in the right-hand side, I see my workflow rules. If you're still learning about Sage's workflow engine, the premise is that we always know where something is in the cycle and who's working on it and when things happened. And down at the bottom where I have where is this and is it in progress and all these date fields or whatever yours has to happens to have, those aren't freely editable by people on your team. Rather, they have to use the rules defined by your system, really defined by your management policies, and only follow these rules, which you'll see in just a sec. Also at the top, notice that there's a tab for notes, communications, documents. This is where you can add any collateral related to your case or whatever it is that you're pushing along. On this tracking tab, there wouldn't be a lot here yet, but this is going to show us when a different workflow was pushed and by whom and what might have happened. It's like our paper trail, if this paper trail wasn't enough for you. I'm going to press save and submit. When I submit, I don't do very much. I'm just say when did I submit it, but notice that it's updating those fields that couldn't otherwise be edited. Save. Right now, this case is really no longer the responsibility of the project manager. If I go back to our pipeline, that case is sitting in the submitted section of that pipeline. Submitted means to us that it's been submitted to the technicians, but they haven't looked at it yet. Queued means the technicians have looked at it, but haven't begun. Development means they're actively working on it. And the last one, solved, means that the technicians believe they've finished their job and are waiting for the PMs to confirm. So back on that case, as they press queued to move things along, they'll have to answer certain questions, like when did they start? Now, this is a very easy case, but developer comments isn't mandatory just yet, but they could enter some information. From the queue, they push it on to development, meaning that it's actively being worked on. They do have an opportunity here to enter some developer comments, populate some fields, but the key thing is that now we all know that it's in development. When something's in development, there's a few different options that could happen. Firstly, it could always go back. We could solve it but not deploy it on the client system. We could deem it a bug with Sage CRM. That doesn't happen very often, but sometimes, and we'll have to go back to Sage. But the go forward one that happens 98% of the time is solved and deployed. It's box on this screen where we say, when was it solved? And the developer will have to put in some comments. In a more complicated case, they would, of course, enter more. How long did it take them? Was it tested? And by whom? Save. So the technicians believe they're done. It's yet to be confirmed. If we go back to the case pipeline, that case is in there, and once the project manager has confirmed that everything's okay, they'll come back in here and press confirmed, entering any final information and then save. A couple other points. Remember that tracking tab. That tracking tab would now have a lot more information in it if required. And the other part that I skipped across, so many of our workflows use information messages extensively. Not in our case workflow, but there is a single one. This displays, in our example, depending on the relationship with the client. A lot of people are on support contracts, but if not, it might say quote first or something else, and that impacts the case in some way. In our case, in our situation, a very basic way. And that's essentially our cycle for managing cases, but there's a few other things I want to mention. Once in a while, cases come back and we need to resubmit. So we can, even if it's been confirmed, we can have the same case and bring it back to life. But also too, there's two buttons up here that I want you to see. One called Reset Workflow. We do this a lot in a workflow for any reason at all. Once in a while, somebody needs to bring it back to the beginning. Sometimes this button is locked down to certain users, but it's practical. And the other one is on hold. You see this a lot in opportunities, but in our situation, it happens to cases too, where I have to put something on hold and I'll have to put in why and maybe explain myself and date stamp it. If something is on hold, then the reciprocating button called off hold will display. Thanks for watching.